Welcome to What Are You Sporting About podcast, a podcast about business, employment, sports, and entertainment to help educate, support, and guide you to your next level. Here's your host, attorney Sivonnia DeBarros.
Hello. It's Sivonnia DeBarros, protector of athletes, also the founder and principal attorney of the S.L. DeBarros Law Firm. So for this episode, we are highlighting professional athlete and author Tanika Rubin's signature speech that she gave for the NIL Combine. Man, listen here. This conversation is just so lit. It is on fire. The power of building and maintaining relationships. A lot of us undervalue our relationships to the point that we engage into conduct that throws the relationship away. So take a listen at Tanika Rubin's message on the power of building and maintaining those relationships and how they can help you stay in the door. One of the key things that she say throughout her speech is the fact that talent can get you there, but your character also keeps you in the door. So if people don't like you, come on now. People don't like you, you can be the most talented person in the room, but if people don't like you, they're not going to want to do business with you. So without further ado, here's Tanika Rubin.
Tanika Rubin is a professional basketball player, speaker, and author of the life-changing book, Winners Win. She is a graduate of Florida A&M University, as well as the University of East London, where she obtained her Bachelor's in Business Administration and Master's of International Business. Tanika has traveled the world playing basketball in 5 different countries, which has allowed her to discover the beauty and cultural differences and form a powerful global network. Join Tanika Rubin today as she presents on the power of building and maintaining relationships.
Hey everybody, my name is Tanika Rubin, and today I'll be speaking to you all on the topic of building and maintaining positive relationships. This is an extremely important topic. It can literally take you from being in one room to the next, being in one door to the next. So without further ado, let's get into it. Relationships are a form of currency. And so the same way you wouldn't take a $20 bill, rip it up, throw it on the ground, is the same way you should treat relationships, as if they are of high value. And so I know I'm speaking to an audience full of student athletes who understand the power of working hard, right? I know that. We know what it is to train day in, we train day out, and we do it because we want to accomplish the goal of performing at a high level, right? I understand that. We've taken the time to work hard toward mastery, and we have a firm grasp on the skills and the talent that we bring to any team, we bring to any group that we're a part of. I understand that. And all that is great. I get it. That's the culture I'm in, and I understand it. But here's the difficult truth. The difficult truth is your skills and your talent isn't going to be enough to allow you to be successful as a higher level athlete, right? Your skills and your talent is not going to be enough to allow you to be successful as a high level athlete. You have to learn how to build and maintain relationships. You have to learn how to build and maintain relationships. And this topic, it reminds me of a basketball player I used to know. So I knew this basketball player. She was a college basketball player. And the truth is, like, she wasn't that good. She wasn't that skilled. She wasn't that talented. And because of that, she didn't play much. She rode the bench. But she got her entire college education paid for. So the way college athletics works is year after year, your scholarship has to be renewed. And for her, every year, her scholarship was renewed. And then on top of that, once she graduated, she earned a high salary position in the marketing department of the school. The same school that she sat the bench on, the same school that she didn't really get much playing time, was the same school that offered her a great career in the department that she got her degree in. And the school loved her, right? They were willing to open the doors for her that she needed to succeed. So the question is, how was she able to receive a full scholarship, riding the bench, and then get a great career at the same school? The answer is that she learned exactly what I'm getting ready to tell you. She learned the power. She learned how to leverage the power of good relationships. She knew her value. She delivered her value. She found her lane, and she made sure she took care of the people around her. And so this is what I mean when I say relationships are a form of currency. And so these are the things that I want to teach you today. So let's get into it. First things first, before we get into anything, I want to show you a danger, right? I want to give you this bright yellow warning sign. And the warning sign is burning bridges. So we're going to talk first about the danger of burning bridges. Before we get into building good relationships, it's important to talk about the danger of burning bridges. Okay. And so we all know what it means to burn a bridge, right? We've heard that term before. We know what it means to burn a bridge, and we know what it looks like to burn a bridge in a practical sense. So burning bridges, it usually looks like we're cutting somebody off, right? It looks like we're ghosting somebody. Or burning bridges can look like us saying or doing things that we can't take back, that completely throws the relationship away. So these are the examples of what it looks like to burn a bridge. I know I've seen it. You've probably seen it, or you've probably done it yourself. I know I have. That's just me being honest. And a lot of times people burn bridges out of anger. We burn bridges out of frustration, because it is frustrating at times to deal with people. So I understand that. And today I'm going to take burning bridges, the concept of burning bridges, and take us a little bit deeper into that topic. Because there's another layer to it that I think sometimes we just don't get. I was talking a few weeks ago, I was talking to a good friend of mine, and this is what I said to her. I said, hey, don't burn a bridge and then act surprised when you can't cross it anymore. I'm going to say that again. Don't burn a bridge and then act surprised when you can't cross it anymore. I repeated it because I don't want that visual to go over your head. Don't burn a bridge and then act surprised when you can't cross it anymore. So what am I saying? I'm saying that people are bridges. And a lot of times I see athletes who get upset, right? Things happen, I understand. They get upset, they get angry, and they do things and they say things that throws the entire relationship away. So maybe they said it to a coach or a teacher or a teammate or a mentor. And the reason why that's not a good thing is because we have to remember what I just said. People are bridges. People are bridges. And what many young people or young athletes at times don't realize is that opportunities are often attached to people. So when you burn a bridge, you're essentially burning an opportunity. I'm going to say that again. Oftentimes opportunities are attached to people. So when we burn a bridge, we're essentially burning an opportunity. So I'm going to paint a picture for you. Imagine you're the most talented player, whatever sport you play, in your state, your conference, or your region. But for some reason, nobody wants to recruit you. That's not a very good visual, is it? And that happens all the time. There's really talented athletes, but because they're just not very pleasant people to be around, teams and organizations don't really want to keep them around. And it sounds crazy, but it really happens all the time. So one thing that we have to remember is that the world of sports is very small, which means that good news is going to travel fast about a player. We already know that. Good news is going to travel fast. Talented player, get good grades, that news is going to travel fast. But bad news about a player is going to travel even faster. So we have to be understanding of the fact that the world that we're in is so complex, it's so compact. Social media and things like that keeps networks very small. And so a lot of coaches know each other. A lot of players, they know each other. And so word travels fast. So it's important that we get this principle because ultimately it could end up saving your career or end up elevating your career to a level that you didn't even know that you could get to. So I've been in the game for a while, from playing high school ball to being a student athlete at a JUCO and a D1, and ultimately to being able to play overseas. And I've seen way too many athletes at all different levels who should be playing at a higher level, right? Who should be in a better situation, but they have a habit of burning bridges. A habit. I'm not saying they've burned a bridge like 1 or 2 times, but they have literally made burning bridges a habit. And every time you turn around, they're at odds with a coach. Every time you turn around, they're at odds with a teammate, or they're at odds with a teacher or someone who is a decision maker, and that's just not sustainable. Nobody wants to deal with them. And those are the exact types of people who one day they look up and they realize that they've exhausted absolutely all of their resources. And they look up one day and they realize that they've exhausted all of their opportunities. And in that space, those people have to learn an extremely hard lesson. The lesson is that it doesn't matter how talented you are. At the end of the day, relationships matter. I'm going to say that again. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter how gifted you are. At the end of the day, relationships matter. And you have to be in good standing with the people who make decisions. As painful as that may feel at times, I know it's not always easy to deal with the people who make decisions, but you have to be in good standing with the people who make decisions. Okay, it's extremely important. All right, so let's move on to the next part of this. I'm going to give you guys 3 ways to win with people. These are going to be extremely practical steps you can take. These are 3 ways that you can practically begin improving the relationships with the people that you're going to come in contact with and the people that are already around you right now. So let's get to it. The first one is to start with you. To win with people, start with you. All right, when it comes to winning with people, we first have to take this deep breath, this honest look at ourselves. I know that can be painful. I understand that. I've been there. We have to take an honest look at ourselves because sometimes we have the qualities that are blocking us from giving our best to the people around us, right? Sometimes we have those qualities that are quote unquote toxic, and we need to be aware of those qualities. So the first things first is to take an honest look at ourselves. What does that look like in a practical sense? Well, we have to check our character, right? We have to check our character. And the question you can ask yourself is, who am I when nobody's watching? And I know that's like a super cliche question. Who am I when nobody's watching? But it's a great question to ask yourself because that reveals your character. It reveals who you are. So ask yourself, who am I when nobody's watching? And a quote that I love so much is talent gets you in the door, but character, it keeps you in the room. Talent gets you in the door, but character keeps you in the room. And I love that quote because it's true, right? Your skills, the way you dribble the ball, the way you can shoot the ball, it can get you in the door. It can get you a scholarship, but your character is going to keep you on that team and have people to celebrate you far down the line. All right, next is to lead with integrity. Be who you say you are. Do what you say you're going to do. Right? It's going to be extremely hard to win with people if you say one thing and then you do another thing. Leading with integrity. That's another part of starting with you. Leading with integrity, because it means that people can trust you, right? It means that ultimately people can trust you, and everyone wants to be around a person that they can trust. I know I do. I know you do. And coaches feel the same way. Schools feel the same way. You know, your teammates are going to feel the same way. All right, the third part of starting with you is to heal from trauma. This is underrated. Heal from trauma. This is a big one, though. It's a big one because relationship trauma, it can cause us to build a wall around other people. It can cause us to build around a wall around ourselves, even though people have nothing to do with the pain that we're feeling, right? So it keeps people outside of our wall. And it's important to identify and heal from the trauma that we've dealt with, because then we'll be able to flourish in the relationships that we have around us. And then we'll be able to reap the benefits that comes with those relationships. All right. So number one is to start with you. Okay. The second key to winning with people is to add value to people. This is huge. This is extremely practical. Add value to people. But first, you have to recognize your value. You got to know what you bring to the table. Okay. And that's hard if you're comparing yourself to people. So it's easy to get into the mode of comparing ourselves to other people. I know what that looks like. I've been there before. I know what it feels like. But remember this, comparison is the thief of impact. Comparison is the thief of impact. And I can't add value to anybody if I'm busy being jealous of the way my teammate adds value. I can't add value to my team if I'm looking at the way my teammate adds value and I'm trying to be just like her. All right. So number one is recognize your value. Next, it's increase your value. So whatever you do it better. And that takes me back to the girl I talked about earlier on the basketball team. She knew what she did and she just continued to do it. So when you're on a team, the goal of that is to make the team better. That means that we as individuals have to improve first. So whatever you do it better. Are you a good communicator? Learn to communicate better. Are you a good defensive player? Learn to play defense better. Maybe the value that you bring to the team is that you're a good leader, or you have really, really good energy that improves the culture of the team. Figure out ways that you can lead your team better or bring energy better. Whatever value you bring, do it better. All right. So the next part of this is to deliver your value. First, we recognized it, right? Now we've improved it. The next part is to deliver your value. And what this looks like is consistency. You show a coach you can do something. You show a coach you're good at something. Continue to do that and be disciplined and bring consistency day in and day out. And so that's often a difficult thing to do because sometimes we feel unappreciated in what we bring to the table. Deliver your value anyway, right? Sometimes we feel like people may not see the scope or the entirety of what we do and it doesn't matter. Bring your value anyway. And there may even be situations, I've seen this before, where you feel upset or you feel that people are upset at you because you're shining at what you do. You're giving your value. And that can deter some student athletes from giving their value. But I would say continue to do that because that's an important part of winning with your team, your organization. And you will win with the people who matter. The people who are upset, they don't matter. The ones that you're giving the value to and who appreciate you, that's who matters. Okay, so the third part of winning with people is to focus on others. Focus on other people. And the key to this is that everybody wants to feel important. All right, everybody wants to feel important. And when we make other people feel important, what we're essentially doing is pretty cool. What we're essentially doing is we're telling them that they matter. And this is a key ingredient to winning with people. And it's one that many people miss because they're so focused on themselves. But if you focus on other people, you tell them that they matter, that's really going to elevate you to the next level. And so what's going to help you to focus on others, it sounds simple, but it's keeping your eyes off the mirror. That's the concept. You're going to keep your eyes off the mirror. And so what I mean by that is you have to adopt the mentality of a servant mindset. Okay, this is a challenging one. You have to adopt the mindset of a servant mentality. It's a challenging one because in our society, especially as an athlete, we've been taught to focus on ourselves. But the truth is that's not going to help you win with people. It's going to help you win with yourself. It's going to help you improve yourself. But we have to learn how to serve. So servanthood is truly the key. Believe me, it's truly the key to making people feel good around you. Being a servant. And it'll also give you a sense of purpose. But that's the next level of that. But learn how to adapt a servanthood mentality. And next is to be genuine. So being genuine is really like the key to bring everything I've said together today. Nothing that I've shared today is going to work unless you do it with a genuine heart. All right. There's not like this calculated formula. that is going to allow you to to be in good relationship with people. It's like, I'm going to do A, B, and C. No, you have to have a genuine heart, because no matter what you do, people are going to sense that you're doing things with a genuine heart. So you have to be genuine when dealing with others. And like I said, that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing. So as we wrap up today, there are some big takeaways that I mentioned that I just kind of want to run back home for you as an athlete. All right. So number one, relationships are a form of currency. You want to value them. You understand that they can get you from point A to point B. Okay. Number two is that humility is a key to excelling with people. We have to be humble. We have to learn that, hey, sometimes it's not about me. Sometimes I have to, put my pride to the side, or put my frustration and my anger to the side, and be humble in dealing with people. And I just want to encourage you guys to manage and steward the relationships that are in your life right now. It's so important to do. I'm telling you, I have literally, I say this thing all the time. I say, it's not who you know, it's who likes you. And that's kind of been like the testimony of my career. I'm a talented athlete, but there are so many athletes who play better than me. And I've been able to go to the heights that I've been able to go to because I've learned to understand the power of cultivating, of building and maintaining good relationships. All right. I hope you guys enjoy this talk, learn from it, soak up from the rest of those speakers. Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys. Look, didn't I tell you that signature talk was so fire? Oh my gosh. I mean, she lit it up. She lit it up for the combine. I'm telling you, man, listen, these are the types of speakers that we had debuting at the NIL Combine, first annual NIL Combine. And my purpose for having this event is to show athletes that they're more than just what their sport is, right? Now that we're in NIL, it's about building those relationships and knowing who you are and having the ability to step out with confidence and, really show people like, hey, I'm worth doing business with, right? Like, here is something amazing that I'm doing for myself as a student athlete, and I want to work with you, right? But you have to understand what value that relationship has. And you also have to understand yourself as an individual. Like, am I sabotaging my relationships? Am I sabotaging things that could possibly help me later in my future? We have to give some deep thought to that, right? And do the deep work that it will take to redefine the way that we've been showing up in spaces and showing up in our relationships. So yeah, man, like I said, Tanika Rubin, she's a beast. Love my sister. She is amazing, amazing woman, amazing athlete, amazing author. If you guys have not yet, make sure that you check out her book, Winners Win. It is life-changing. I read her book from cover to cover. I'm telling you, like, literally in one sitting, because it's just so powerfully packed with nuggets to help you move throughout your life and get from being unstuck and get to places that, a place in your life where you can really move the needle forward. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but thank you so much for tuning in again this week. If you have not already subscribed to our podcast, make sure you go to your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode, because you see the fire that's cooking up, right? You see what I'm saying? So make sure you subscribe to What Are You Sporting About podcast, and come back next week. We're going to keep the fire going. We're going to keep it burning. All right. All right, guys. I'm Sivonnia, DeBarros, protector of athletes. Until next time, I'll check you later. Ciao.
Thanks for joining us this week on What Are You Sporting About podcast. Make sure to visit our website, prosportlawyer.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever your favorite platform is, so you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes or iHeartRadio. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like the show, you might want to check out our book, What Are You Sporting About? Attorney Sivonnia DeBarros is available for private consulting at sldebarros.com. And remember, we're here to educate, support, and guide you in your journey to success, because we're all sporting about something.